What is the Nigerian dream? Do we have one? Do we need to have one? Is there a necessity to have an ethos that this nation can function by? The greatest nations in the world all have some ethos. In America, it is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for everyone. China, a large nation of over 1 billion people, suffering in the doldrums of economic and financial woes, came together and decided, you know what? We need to decide to do one thing. The greatest trick for a number of people to succeed with is by having one simple vision. The Chinese vision is this. It was, guys, let us all now think of ways we can all contribute to make China great. And that's what they've done. Eventually, when you come together to build one structure, everybody benefits. Everybody has a structure to now empower themselves economically and socially.
We've got a house in Maytama, buy 3 more on Banana Island. Been working hard since forever, so we can finally ask, do you know who I am? Daddy don't come home on business trips. He's busy with the Lagos big girls, living it up, and Mama makes these appearances. Don't want no one to notice the bruises and cuts. We're so sad, but we live in the Nigerian dream.
In Nigeria, we have something called the Nigerian dream. But the thing about it is quite confusing. What is our Nigerian dream? Let me spell that out to you. Our dream is this: get all the money that I can and try and stop other people from doing the same. That is our dream. And that is a nightmare. So what we have is a Nigerian nightmare.
We're so sad, but we live in the Nigerian dream. Go home for the holidays, got to show everyone we made it.
Now the point is, but there's something keeping us together. There is wealth in this country being siphoned from one end of the nation, brought to the center, and not used for the good of the whole country. So a few people now are able to just jump in the fray, partake of what they can get, steal as much as they can steal, and then take it back home. This dream or this nightmare is actually destroying us. But the fact is, there's something keeping us together. It is the wrong thing. So do we have a Nigerian dream? Do we need a Nigerian dream? Is it necessary to fathom out an ethos that says, guys, if we all did this, perhaps it might just be better for each and every one of us? Because for now, I tell you, it is not working.
One. All we need is one. One God, one world, one life, one love, one human race.
There is no Nigerian dream, at least not in the sense in which we have an American dream.
Justice has been kidnapped in my country, and nobody's willing to pay her ransom. She was absent at the tribunal when the verdict was given, so the Marooders were declared winners, even though we know the votes were phantom. Chaos convulses the land beyond the verge of catastrophe. The tranquility's been shattered. We can't even piece together the peace. Justice has been kidnapped. Somebody please call the police.
There is no Nigerian dream, at least not in the sense in which we have an American dream and what that means and however that applies. And I don't think we need to have a Nigerian dream. Nigeria has never wanted articulated agendas or ideas or plans or visions. But while we do not have a Nigerian dream per se, we have a collective aspirations. One that puts opportunity within the reach of every single Nigerian, irrespective of their tribe, their proximity to power, gender, religion, or any of those things.
What is the Nigerian dream? To answer that question, you have to ask, what is the American dream? Because we're coming from that point. I read a book once that said the American dream is about a roof over your head, food on the kitchen table, and a car or two in the garage. So it's shelter, it's provision, it's mobility. Mobility, might say, is about a car, but it also means they're moving out up in life from one state to the other. So in that sense, the American dream wants you to prosper. It says no matter where you're born, where you're from, if you work hard and take enough risk, you can become prosperous. Can we say that in Nigeria? Can you say that no matter where you're born, where you're from, if you work hard in Nigeria, if you take enough risk, you can become prosperous? It's possible in Lagos, where everybody comes to hustle, in no man's land. But think about it. There's always a glass ceiling you can't go beyond, right? There's always a glass ceiling you can't go beyond. So if you look at it, someone like MK Abiola, who was the do-gooder in Nigeria, right? If a mosque got burnt, he will fix it. If a church got burnt, he will fix it. But he still couldn't be president of Nigeria. So sometimes, by sheer accident of your birth, by sheer geographic accident, you are denied certain privileges in Nigeria. Hillary Clinton's husband was governor in Arkansas. She came to New York and ran as a senator and won. In Nigeria, Bianca Ojukwu is still trying, to work with APGA, who say, oh, you're from Enugu State, your husband's from Anambra State, you don't belong. So imagine that. I mean, this is somebody who was married to Ojukwu, who everybody knows. Because of an accident of birth, she can't, run for certain offices in Anambra State. Enugu and Anambra used to be the same state before, and her father was governor before. So you see how these things happen. When it's okay for us, we say we're Nigerians. When it's not okay, we begin to define ourselves through these dichotomies.
You've asked me about the Nigerian dream, but I think that Nigeria needs a definition. We struggle as a people because of an absence of a definition. We don't really know who we are. And in the absence of a strong sense of purpose and identity, vision. To have vision is going to be practically impossible. So the first thing we need to do as Nigerians is define who we are. And for us to define who we are, it's also important to go back in history and see how we came to be and understand how we came to be. Two people came together under very interesting circumstances and decided that they were going to live together. They got married. Now, in retrospect, we have a number of people who are thinking about that union and wondering if it was such a bright idea. Because there's so many external forces that are looking to disband, for lack of a better word, the union. It's been a challenging marriage, not without its issues and its concerns and all of that. And I am the product of that marriage. My parents are married. They're not doing very well together. I can see them struggle. I can see them fight. I see them trying to define who they are, trying to define what the future will look like. I don't know that they're doing a very good job trying to do all of that. But this is me, an offspring of a challenging situation. So I just decide that I'm going to make the best of the situation. That's my understanding of the Nigerian landscape.
We, as a people, are so individualistic that there is no Nigerian dream, there's a personal dream. So there's a dream that I have for myself as Joel, right? There's a dream that Darrow has for himself. There's a dream that Michael has for himself. You know, maybe if we stress it a bit, maybe, okay, as an organization, as maybe JB Multimedia Studios, we have a dream for JB Multimedia. But I think as Nigerians, we're so individualistic that there is no Nigerian dream, in my opinion. I don't see people coming together to say they want to build Nigeria. I don't even see organizations coming together and say they want to build the organization, how much more build the country.
The thing about a vision is, by definition, a vision speaks about a future. It is never about now. But the thing is, a future begins now. You start a future from here on. So a vision is a thought and a picture of the future starting from now.
What I want for my children, and increasingly I've thought about it a lot, especially since moving, to Lagos, which is so different from where we're from. And I was saying to a friend of mine just recently that every time I have to debrief my children. So I think for me, the Nigerian dream will be a commonness of values. I think that we should have the same values across the board. I don't know that I should, coming from Kaduna to Lagos, debrief my children about values. All Nigerians should have the same values of being good, being their neighbor's keeper, being comfortable in their skins. The definition of success should not be money, but it should be, what have you added to humanity, or what legacy that you have left. So I think my Nigerian dream would be that we all have the same purpose. And the purpose should be, being good people, being good humans. I think for me that is what the Nigerian dream is.
We come from dust and fire, a civilization dancing on water and washing its hands in oil. Our technology once commanded groundnuts to the skies, heaven blessing our offerings in 1,000 tongues. We are a nation conceived in promise, a dazzling rainbow carried by the currents of the Niger, the stories of poets and the trumpets of rebels. Our greatness has never been in doubt, and we still know how to call wetness from drought. Travel the length and breadth of the country and you'll see us. Our mothers staring down terrorists in the northeast, our fathers rebuilding dreams from the mothers of hope. You will find us in Benue planting for the future. Our songs have traveled from the lips of Jos to the hips of the world. Our women reversing single stories are writing us back into history.
But there is a Nigerian spirit, one forged in necessity, and we see that spirit in what young Nigerians have been able to produce within the cultural sectors, with technology, within the tech space, and outside of all of that, and even to a certain extent, even in government. But there's a sense in which that Nigerian spirit, resilient as it is, productive as it is, one that is in a sense taking its place, on the global stage as well, by defining a Nigerian cultural identity. While we have all of that, and while all of that is laudable, I think that Nigerian spirit is also a double-edged sword. I think that Nigerian spirit is also a cop-out, because it keeps us focused on what we can do outside of state intervention and state action. And that in itself is limited. There's a certain sense in which we can look out for ourselves because we have the privilege of education, we have the privilege of a certain kind of class and background. So we can, to a certain extent, take care of ourselves. But it's not sustainable because at the bottom of the pyramid, you have an army of disenfranchised Nigerian people, young and old, with no access to quality public education, no access to healthcare. So there's a lot of discontent at the bottom of the pyramid that I think, in the words of, in the infamous words of the placard that came up during the Occupy Nigeria struggle, one day the poor will have nothing to eat but the rich.
Nigerian dream is possible. Go to school, get a good degree, get a job, work hard, or be an entrepreneur, work hard, and you can achieve your dreams. But sometimes, because of the way Nigeria is structured, sometimes you work so hard, you take enough risk, but that dream is difficult to achieve. That dream becomes a nightmare.
Sometimes strength is in weakness. Do not undermine your softness. Fire lacks form, but it's hard. And water meanders through and around any obstacle because it is soft. Strength is not necessarily being immovable as a rock. So put your rock in a sock and be like the lion. Be strong for the weak. Be strong even when you are weak. Let your yin and yang take you to the peak of life. There find out what you seek and achieve on equal feet. Learn to take the heat and the fire. It's not everything you see. You eat. You get. I get your light on.
We have a thing I call the Nigerian spirit. Every people have it. What is the Nigerian spirit? It is a winner mentality. We will win no matter what. The Nigerian spirit is a winner mentality. And then we have the tenacity that we are quick to name as we die here. We die here, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, we will do it. Now, this spirit is the backbone to whatever we're going to build when we're articulating a Nigerian dream. It is that we die here that is keeping this country going. It is we die here that is allowing people to have power outages and to make jokes out of it. It is we die here that lets us have the world's leadership anywhere and we make jokes about them and we survive on our own, and every individual is creating their own electricity, their own water supply, their own security because we die here. But you know, we can choose to live here instead of dying here. We can take that we die here attitude and apply it to making things work.
I just make sure that, these children get to know this. It's very important, that children need to know that there's a Nigeria between all these arguments or diversity or whatever it is. It's more than all of us. And I also know that Nigeria is going to sustain no matter what. And mostly because, our politicians are very selfish. And then we sort of sit in a place in history that is very different. So our population is 200 million. In the next couple of years, they're projecting that in the next 20-something years will be 600 million. It'll be one in every 3 people would be Nigerian in the world. Meanwhile, in Europe, the populations are imploding. So they're getting less and less people. And we would repopulate the world. So is that the kind of thing we want to take out? Yeah, we are going to repopulate the world, whether people like to believe it or not. And most of us, the 200 million of us that are in here, are not the 77 criminals, or they're not the Yahoo boys. The Yahoo boys, if they try, I don't know that they're more than 20,000 or 50,000 compared to 200 million. What is that? That's nothing. So our narrative must not be that the fewer lead the majority. The majority must lead, and the majority is good. Yes. The majority is, those Nigerians that, will see that you don't have something to eat. And Nigerians are very good like that. Food, they feed you. If you haven't got something to wear, someone will give you. That is Nigeria. Yes? You see a beggar, even though you hate what they're doing, you will still give them. So Nigeria is not Yahoo boys. It certainly isn't Boko Haram. It's not Niger Delta boys. It's not. It's me, you, him. Yeah, that's what Nigeria is.
So I traveled somewhere for a conference, and frankly, there were maybe 3 or 4 black people in the room. I happened to be one of them. And this guy that worked with one of the top consulting firms gave a presentation. It was a brilliant presentation on the youth employment problem on the continent. And he just went on and on about how it was a ticking time bomb and we need to do blah, de blah, de blah. And he ended that presentation by saying that the solution to the problem was, or how do I put it? Nigeria had to solve that problem. And if Nigeria does not take the lead in solving the problem, frankly, as a continent, we're finished. Nigeria is like Moses, and the rest of the continent is saying, Nigeria when? Nigeria when? So sometimes the sense of responsibility that I feel is not so much that, you know what, let's make this country work. I just know how unfortunate the repercussion will be if we don't rise up and lead the continent. So in terms of the application of consequence, the emergence of leaders, patriotism, taking personal responsibility, as a Nigerian, my message to you is don't do it just for you. Every time you think you know whatever, think about the 10 to 20 other Africans who are sitting down hoping that you will do the right thing.
Nigerian dream. In our love that we just need for this country to achieve Nigerian dream. Because Nigerian get dream. Our heroes past, don't talk am before, say our dream must not go in vain. So those days when we dey small, we dey watch Tales by Moonlight, where our grandpa dey bring us together, dey eat together for one plate, for village and market too, we dey together for one plate. So Nigerian dream could just be that unity wey we dey find. I dey tell everybody that thing go help us, make we comot anything for our mind, make we come one as one. Our dream go come true. Na be the thing wey I believe. So Nigerian get dream, and the dream must come true. One day be one day.
Did you see me in the magazine? Tell me, what did you think of me? I'm a celebrity. Don't you know, and every time of day, be sure to find me in my designer shades. That's how I operate. Don't you know, if I have to do this over again, I wouldn't change anything. Ladies love me and the fans adore me, my super story, the one with lots of money.
Nigeria is in dire need of patriots. We are a country of unpatriotic people. And you know why I say that? Patriotism is very close to working towards the common good. As a patriot, if you believe that one candidate has what it takes to lead a country and another candidate does or wins, you would suspend whatever animosity you have towards the candidate who has won and pitch in to make the country work.
My name is Chika Unegwe. I'm a writer, and I'm going to be reading a short extract from one of my novels, Night Dancer, which aptly captures what and how I feel about Nigeria. L is for love. It's lifting the tongue and gently placing it against the roof of your mouth. It is gentle, like softly saying la, la, la. It is fluffy, like love. Love is a beautiful butterfly flitting around a room, sure of itself. And for me, that is Nigeria. The love I have for Nigeria is pure, it's unadulterated, and nothing is ever going to stop me from loving Nigeria, not its corrupt leaders, not the way in which Nigeria kills its young, not the way in which Nigeria kills the dreams of so many people. Nothing will ever stop me loving Nigeria, which is why nothing will also never stop me from criticizing Nigeria and working to make Nigeria better.
The Nigeria of my dreams is a Nigeria where our children, male and female, can be protected, grow up secure, able to fulfill their own true potential, where the state is there to nurture them, where human life is precious, where education, access to skills, development is just round the corner. Go anywhere with your green passport and you're welcome.
My father's Jamaican, my mother is Calabari. And I grew up in urban cities. I grew up in Port Harcourt, I grew up in Ibadan. I've lived in Lagos for nearly 15 years. And so in many ways, I see how my idea of what a Nigerian dream is a middle-class, urban, open-minded, well-traveled dream. I'll condense my Nigerian dream into one word: respect. I think in Nigeria, where the average, everyday Nigerian respects himself, respects his mother, respects the woman on the street, respects the man on the street, is Nigeria we'll all be happy to live in. Because when I look at Nigerians and I see the ways in which we allow ourselves be treated, it also reflects the way we treat each other. It's reflected in the way we treat our children. I walk down the street with my wife, who happens to be a foreigner, and I am invisible to people because my wife happens to be white. Because for me, what that says is that if you treat someone as special, because in your own country, in a black majority country, if you treat someone as special because they're white, it says a lot about how you see yourself. Because at least in a white majority country, white people are treated as special. And so it comes down to respect, how we see ourselves in our country and how we see ourselves in the world. I feel once we fix that, then we'll have a lot more, we'll feel a lot more engaged when we hear that 200 people died in Benue. The middle class, who these days spend a lot of time on social media, will feel more affected when they hear that there's some village in the Niger Delta lost 500 people to a fire, rather than moan and wail when they hear that people died in Paris. It is about respect. It's about the fact that we can empathize more with characters in Game of Thrones than we can with our Megad. And I think that is my Nigerian dream. A Nigeria where we realize that respect starts from self-respect.
Sunny speaks very highly of you, as every trader does his goods. Every trader, I like that. That's fantastic. So tell me, are you and Sunny related? Cousins, in-laws? We're both from the same place. We're both Igbo. Igbo, that's a tribe in Nigeria? No, it's an ethnic group. Oh, so tell me, how long have you been here in the States? Could you help me with one of these boxes? Yes, I've been here for in and about 5 years, but for the last year, I've been very stable here.
I really don't think there's a Nigerian dream. I think there's just expectations from society. People expect you to go to school, go for your youth service, after that get married, have kids, send your kids to school, build a house, and then die. I feel like that's the expectation. But we're all different. We live in a society where people follow a lot and they don't ask questions. We just want to follow what we're being told. But the truth is, no two persons are alike, and none of us, there's no reason to be like anybody else. You are unique in yourself, so find out what it is that you love to do. Whatever that is, pursue it with all of your being, because at the end of the day, people will tell you what they expect of you, but the truth is they really don't care. They just want you to fall into the flock, fall into the fold of everybody else and be like everybody else. Not everybody is meant to go to not everybody is meant to have the formal education. Not everybody is going to get married. And then if you find yourself actually trying to get married and saying, oh, I will get married by the age of 30, I mean, first of all, it's your life. You don't really understand who you are, and you're trying to get somebody else into that mess. Nah. Figure out who you are, pursue your dreams, and at the end of the day, if you're able to fulfill that, then you are living your Nigerian dream. You are living your dream. I don't think Nigeria is involved.
On the run, to run, running miles and miles with a million smiles, the Gulf of Guinea. On the west of black root in dense plantation of true ebony, an insignia of my family tree my skin is unremorsefully guilty of. With pride I wear, with pride I rummage, the Roman sunshine of my spangling Africanness housed in the hospitable heavens of my fatherland. A green land, evergreen, every land is green with envy of green, white, green. Two greens in one on one. One is one white at the capital of ocean green. The land is two green. See mine, yours, our nature is divine matrimony with nature. Our nation is the vine of 100 now, hundreds of many millions of you, me, we the branches equal the nature of the vine, that if mine, yours, our fruit is fruitful, a bunch and bounty with strength, strong, our stronghold and unity is you, me, we the branches equal the nature of the vine. So I think green, you think fruitfulness, we think Nigeria.
I want a Nigeria where values have been restored. That is what I grew up with. That is what makes the name Ransom Kuti famous, valued, respected. I want that for every single child and every single family. I want a Nigeria where politics is a battle for ideas. A game that the players have a vision of a future of young men and women standing tall, holding their own anywhere in the world. Africa is the cradle of mankind. The first human beings walked this earth. People have said, particularly a very important person, Mandela, that when Nigeria realizes its true potential, then the black man and woman will be free. My vision encapsulates this multicultural, multilingual, multi-ethnic, multi-religious dynamo, where all these energies that are diverse but complementary come together and say, look here, my brother, look here, my sister, we are one. We can make Nigeria as great, even greater than anyone ever envisioned. And it is part of an African dream, because in every single profession, country, part of this universe, there's a Nigerian. Can you imagine us all coming together? Love, preaching justice, preaching love, eschewing the those ephemeral things that only pass for a short while. Money's good, great, but that's not it. It is that human value, the character of the person, the ability to live a full, complete life with those you love, with those who respect you, with those who you respect, and sharing those values of integrity, compassion, self-respect, dignity. That is what is precious. That is what makes life worth living. I have a dream that every Nigerian will walk tall, will hold the hand of their brothers and sisters and say, come on, let's go to the promised land. I trust you. Trust me. Young people in Nigeria have so much. When I meet them, when I work with them, I am renewed, reinvigorated, because I know our future is secure because of them. Let's come together and provide that environment that will help them, that will support them, that will nurture them to be the brilliant, dynamic, innovative, creative, intelligent.
Is this the moment we've all been waiting for? For the heart of Africa to beat again. To wake up at dawn without news of another bomb blast fast and bring back our girls' chant was a theme of the past. And yet I ask, is this the moment we've all been waiting for? Where change is not just the flicking of traffic lights, but the full conviction of a Nigerian's mind that our gallant soldiers will serve with honor and be honored. Where love first was for country and not the selfish self, and getting a job in the civil service had nothing to do with my tribe, and I would have to know that man or the other man for me to reach my humble dreams. And yet I ask, are this not the moments we've all been waiting for? So history calls upon us in brevity, from Agui's junta, lowest exit of a polarized north and south, of troops and boots, of pelted flesh smacking in disgust, of a colonel's revolt, an instant high on secession calls, but a general stand to go on with one Nigeria, of Murtala's mother, Shagari's reign, and Obasanjo's federation, of coups and counter coups, from democracy to military and back to democracy. Would this be the moment we've all been waiting for, where the hopes of a nation, once wrapped in the shroud of Ahmadu Bello's turban, Awolowo's rhetorics, and Azikiwe's eloquence, will come alive this day in the full colors of a nation made of green, white, and green? I dare to say, let today be that moment you and I have been waiting for. Thank you.
So I think Nigeria is something that we must not lose. Yeah, we must not lose. We should try to keep it together. And I think it starts with thinking critically. And just downstairs we were talking with a group of people, and we were talking about calling out bad behavior. We've all realized that corruption has been the enemy of Nigeria. And I think that if all of us decided to personally do good, and also to call out bad behavior for anybody that doesn't do good, I think we're well on the way to recovery.
This generation is getting lost. This generation is losing it, is getting lost because we are failing to save them. We have absolutely failed to save them. Now, there are 3 R's of life that I believe these young people need to realize. First is respect. Second is reward. And third is responsibility. Now, I'll tell you this. The other thing the young generation really, really wants is reward. Now, they want respect, they want reward. The real thing they want is respect. They think that reward will get them respect. So they do whatever they can, however they can, to get reward without responsibility. And this is what has created the Yahoo generation that we're living with today. This is what is creating Yahoo Plus. People wanting to be respected. You don't want those Mercedes-Benzes, those clothes for any other thing other than their warped conception of respect. That's the honest truth.
If you provide a service and you provide that service very well, people are going to look for you for that service and pay you premium to get that service from you. So I think that should be, I think that's the fundamental problem, is that we've been lied to that success means you should have a lot of money. So everybody works towards that, basically.
Somebody lied. They said my people have a very short attention span. They said they have a message for us, but we would miss it unless they hide it in a song which must be sung by the Sultan. They wanted a song with a strong rhythm, you see, repetitive and hypnotic beats, and they emphasized that the message must be watered down and rendered simple enough for even a child to understand. But I say somebody lied.
In Nigerians are living every day. The population is massive of people living every day. But people coming back, the white people, the foreigners keep on coming. So there's something they see we don't see. There's opportunity they see we don't see. They see the strength in numbers. They see 200 million people, numbers that they could use for their gain. But it's unfortunate that we don't see that. We look at opportunities somewhere else.
If you have a dream for a better Nigeria, then go ahead, make your dream happen.
The normal Nigeria just believes once I show up in America, I have hammered. That's the American dream, the ideology that you could come from nowhere and make it.
I'm Nigerian. I grew up here, I live here, I work here, and my reality is what I decide for it to be.
There's so many opportunities where we could develop and create wealth for us, for ourselves, but we don't see that. We're looking for greener pastures. I feel the problem is America successfully sold us an idea of what an American dream is. Because once you're of age, by the time you get to 17, every Nigerian wants to go to America. They don't care how they do it, they just want to show up in America. The normal Nigerian just believes once I show up in America, I have hammered.
I'm a musician, regardless of the kind of music they're putting out now. If I want to if I have a dream to put out a particular sound of music, I will. Everybody prays for a better Nigeria, but it starts with better Nigerians. Whatever you're doing, you need to make sure that you're doing it the best way you can, with the most information, and you're doing it in the most awesome way. Is there a Nigerian dream? Yes, there is a Nigerian dream. Nigerians are amazing people. We are strong people. We have an amazing sense of humor. Nigerians are great people. But I feel like a lot of the time we like to blame. You know, we like to blame the environment, we like to blame the government, we like to blame the country. Of course, we have a lot of good reasons.
The wise King Solomon once said something about ants. He said, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, and learn." And one thing I know about ants is they're not hustlers. They don't hustle. So hustling, in my opinion, is being a sluggard. Now, you see, we keep telling ourselves that Nigeria is the giant of Africa. What we need to really tell ourselves is the truth. We are the giant anthill of Africa. Ants are really tiny little creatures with an amazing will to succeed and to survive. when you see an anthill, a mole, underneath it, there can be a colony or super colony or coming together of multiple colonies to make a mega colony of 1 million or hundreds of millions of ants. They understand that their strength is in coming together. Their strength is in their number. There's two things the same King Solomon said about these ants is, one of the things he said is, these guys have no leader, but they work from morning till night preparing for. The ants have a vision. What we need to learn is Nigeria is like a giant anthill, and we are a collection or a nation of different ants coming together to build the superstructure for the collective benefit of all nations. So these guys have a future. They have a vision. What is their vision? Save food for a time when food will be hard to come by. They have a vision to build wealth. And that's what we need to learn. Now, how does a nation that lacks leadership survive? How do they thrive? Because let's be honest, every time we say the biggest problem with Nigeria is leadership, the biggest problem, oh, how we wish we had good leadership. Oh, we have bad leaders. But the thing is, these same leaders are coming from amongst us. So what is the solution? I have found out something, that our peculiar situation deserves self-leadership. What is the role of a leader? The leader is the vision carrier. That's basically what the leader does. He carries a vision, and then he leads the way, and then we see where he's going and follow. Miles Monroe says that everyone is a leader. So if you're a leader, you're actually just leading other leaders. Nobody is only a follower. Because that same guy following you is leading himself. He's leading a family, he's leading something else. We're all leading a life. We're all leading our lives.
I come from a place where opportunities were vast like the deep blue sea, and I would say scarce commodity, integrity, peace, unity, civility, all scarce commodities. A place where basics like potable water and electricity are luxury, but I promise I've seen more bright buses here than the streets of Paris. This is a place of dream actualities. The land was lush and green, and now no different from the Niger Delta creeks. Dirt, grease, greed, anarchy, tell me if you've seen better things. Here, white is called off-white and black gray, if you know what I mean. Daily living is a struggle for low-income people, spending a dime while still earning a nickel. Nigeria, in the words of Dagrin Ojojumo Nigeria. But it's alright, because we like to numb it down with prayer. Call on Allah, run to Jehovah. If you're still unsatisfied, consult Orisha. Nigeria, home of the brightest minds, populated by the darkest hearts. And you wonder why we never let our light shine. Mass exodus of her daughters to Italia, only to find she's a sellout. Brain drain every day, it's become routine here. Brain gain for the USA, please don't ask me why we fail.
Every Nigerian believe one day I'm going to make it, I'm going to hammer. Believe in their God. Somebody from Jos believe that if I drop a single, tomorrow I'm going to hammer. Somebody believes that when I come to Lagos, I'm going to be in the movie, I'm going to hammer. Somebody believes that from far Kanu, I'll go to Port Harcourt and I'll hit an oil business and a hammer. I feel like that's the Nigerian dream, the possibilities, you saying, I could make this from nowhere.
Ultimately, and at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to change Nigeria, to change your reality, and to do all that, you have to change yourself. It's a singular decision, greatness, and if many of us start making that continuous singular decision to be great, with time, everybody in the country will be great. Or more people in the country will be great. And if more people are great in the country, then the country will be great as well. So what I'm saying is, it starts with you. The Nigerian dream starts with you. Greatness is a singular responsibility.
I believe so much in Nigeria. I believe in our culture. I believe in what we can do. I believe in our drive as Nigerians. And my Nigerian dream is a country where things actually work, where things are put in place, where we have the drive we put out there. We have that drive to make things work here for us. A country where we care for each other, where there is love, where there is real care, where we don't just, because it doesn't affect me, it'll be my concern. I just dump it and leave it to who it affects. You're in a street, the road is bad, you're waiting for the government to even maintain your own, where you stay, where you live. The federal government has to do it. But I'm not saying we shouldn't bank on the government to do what they're supposed to do, but things really have to work, and it starts from you. That's my Nigerian dream.
I've been through ups and downs, been disappointed many times. I've got scars all over.
Nothing works, nothing has worked without petrol. Black gold. Black gold is more important than the shiny gold, to be honest. But you won't be told. Now, Saudi Arabia, for instance, has had a deal with America. America must buy Saudi oil for a certain amount, for a certain period. I think maybe like 100 years, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter what happens to the price of petroleum. It doesn't matter how much petroleum America is fracking for itself. They are contractually bound to buy a certain quantity of petrol from Saudi Arabia. That has settled the economy of Saudi Arabia for 1,000 years. Saudi Arabia has so much oil and not enough water. This is what they have. They have water that might last like 50 years or thereabouts. And the goal is, this water, we're either going to drink this water or we're going to farm with this water. So Saudi Arabia says, we're not going to farm. We're going to contract our farming to another country so we can drink our water. Saudi Arabia has so much wealth that it can desalinate water. It can take the seawater and then it can remove the salt from it and make good drinking water. In Dubai, they have a room, or they have like a structure that they make snowfall. You have no idea how much power needs to be generated for that to happen. You have no idea. Nigeria is the only country that does not know the purpose of black gold. The purpose of petroleum is not money, it is power. Russia is not in OPEC. Venezuela is not in OPEC. When you see America having a problem with someone, it's about nothing but petrol, because the economy. Let me explain something to you. The goods that come from China will have to be brought on a ship, and it needs petrol to come down. People are moving from one country to another. Businesses are crossing frontiers because someone is flying planes that are being fueled by petroleum. We are the only people who don't understand the power that we have. And it's because we have lacked to originate, lacked to articulate a vision for ourselves. We have no vision. We have no plan. The only plan is incendiary. It's like, right now, give me $10 billion and we are good. We only see the tip of our noses, not farther. That's a really massive problem. I want us to realize that in this last few years of petroleum, of the reign of petroleum, because there's going to be a transition, there's going to be a new economy coming, a technological economy. But even at that, it's going to be slow, it's going to be deliberate, it's going to be careful, because if we remove the world of this socket, the world is like one of those Nigerian computers that have bad battery. If you're editing and NEPA goes, you know everything you have done is going to go. So that's the same thing. We can't just remove the world of the petroleum economy. We're going to have to move slowly. In these last 10, 20 years or thereabouts of it, we need to understand the power that we have. We are the greatest, the strongest nation in Africa, but we have let everybody else take a walk on us. We have failed woefully. So I just need for us to understand what black gold is about. Let's stop going for money. Let's start going for power. Let's have a dream, let's have a vision. Let's chart a course.
If Nigeria was a book, the cover would be self-explanatory, like an Hollywood flick poster. If Nigeria was a book, some chapter will be missing for no reason, just because some people like to steal paper. If Nigeria was a book, the author will wear black hat, cause it takes crooked mind to put ugly lines together on a fine paper. If Nigeria was a book, they better not ask you to write exams on it, cause you must have read all the malpractices there in it. If Nigeria was a book, couldn't be added to school curriculum, cause students will be exposed to first-time thugs and hoodlums. And the Senate, the way that they fight with maize, they amazed. Even the man with the inside farm, they plant maize. Some they sing song, I swear na hit song. Ajekunya ni oje. Ajekunya, I beg. If Nigeria was a book, I will skip the table of contents, cause I know it contains nonsense. Now money way then go share, go come first. Just picture dining table with national cake on it. They don't need knife, spoon or fork. They eat greedily with bare hands, they eat raw, proclaiming that's the African way that's gonna make us strong. If Nigeria was a book, it will be written in red, cause the ink is squeezed from the red eye of the people struggling. If Nigeria was a book, some pages will be blank, wiped out by the cascade of tears from motherland. If Nigeria was a book, it will be hidden in a library, and you have to know somebody that knows somebody that introduces you to somebody that links you to another somebody that recommends that you bribe somebody just to get the book from the shelf. If Nigeria was a book, I would love to read it under the blue moon, expecting a fresh journey, perhaps an addition to new edition. If Nigeria was a book, it will have multiple sequels, and the story will be endless.
The guys at the top, man, last, now them still get the power to fix things. They are in a position to. They are the ones that can make it unattractive for importation of generator, unattractive for all these other things that make life so hard for us. They are the ones that can say, okay, look, if they give you a road to do and you don't do it, life imprisonment. If you jail person in life for not doing road, you think other people will come mess up? But when somebody steals 100 million and you fine him 5 million, that's just investment cost for chopping the money. You understand what I mean? If someone told me to invest 5 million to make 100, I would do it. So if the cost of stealing 100 million is a 5 million naira fine, that doesn't make stealing unattractive. It actually makes it very attractive.
I don't know that I can be anything else. Yeah, when you think about it, could you really necessarily be anywhere else? I love where I come from. I love my heritage. I love my mix. I love my matches. We've got so much history. I was just telling Naomi downstairs, the first time my grandfather went to England was in 1936. Yeah, that far back. My father went to school, in England. I went to school in England. But I don't know that anyone stayed. So everybody's back here. I have nieces and nephews that are in school, but they come back. Why? Because this is home. This is home. And I think you can't build someone else's home. You have to build yours. And we just have a lot going for us, and we just refuse to see it. So I think that it's very unfair for a whole country's narrative to be a few people. If you really think about it, in Nigeria, we don't really celebrate a lot of good and a lot of nice things. We're consistently celebrating, all the evil bandits here, kidnappers there. And these statistics, if you look at it, I know it sounds like a lot, but we're 200 million. 200 million honest working people. Some people go to work every day. They go and come back to their houses. They're not kidnapping anyone. There are people that, go to the farm constantly. They're not they're not. So a few people are holding our Nigerian essence or Nigerian dream to ransom. So now, people are ashamed to say they're Nigerians, and we're all running away to be citizens of somewhere or the other. And you see people, I was watching a documentary, and he paid somebody, I think it was something like 5 million naira to get him across the desert. to go off to England. So I'm thinking, if he gives me 5 million, I know what business to start right now. I know what I want to buy to make money. So again, in thinking that this Nigeria is bad, you know, 5 million naira, if you even give some people 500,000, that's 10 people, you would have made a life. You would have made a life. So I think that we should stop believing these very horrible things about Nigeria. And indeed, they could be horrible personally. If I was kidnapped, that would be personally horrible. but that's just one me out of 200 million people. We're more than just individual experiences. We're a people. And I watch a lot of Avengers. I don't know if any of you have seen the Asgard story. And did you see when they bombed, the whole Asgard went, whatever, and he said Asgard is not a place. Yes, it is a people. We're Nigerians. We're Nigerians. We should be Nigerians wherever we find ourselves.
The Nigerian dream. I don't know where to start from. To talk about the killings or about the corruption, about the celebration, though it comes in a fraction, directing me to asking if we actually have one. The Nigerian dream. So waking up in the morning, to breakfast in Dubai, getting ready for London, to living in the light of your family starving, and you don't even know because your money stayed Dublin. Listen, when talk who they listen. Come out, yeah, let's talk about the situation. Loud and clear, tell me if the last election was free and fair, and if it wasn't, then it's clear that we still don't care. We just wanna grind all day, to buy nice clothes and to dress like Drake. Nigerian made, now we call that fake. And if it ain't online, then I'm not gonna take that shit. We wanna go party around the clock, to spend a couple million like it's nothing in the club, or buy a Lamborghini just to pack it in a lot and exchange a girl's pants for Benz in a truck. The Nigerian dream has got a magnet to attract money, but it's gangsters around it who control the role of controller. And if you break the law, then they surely go catch you.